Receiving a red card during a football match is never ideal, but you can at least hope you made an impact before receiving your marching orders. However, sometimes the instant impression you make on the pitch is the wrong one, and you see red straight away. Perhaps the most famous near-instant dismissal was when Liverpool captain Steven Gerrard was dismissed just 38 seconds after coming on at halftime against Manchester United in 2015. It was his last ever game against Liverpool's fierce rivals, and what a way to go out. However, amazingly, that's not even close to being the quickest red card we have seen. Here are the stories of some amazing incidents of players being sent off after less than 10 seconds. Kyle Wilker, 9 seconds. We're not sure we'd call this a tackle, maybe some sort of MMA or WWE move that went wrong. During the Copa do Nordeste in 2021, the Brazilian championship based in the northeast of the country, the on-field clock time had barely reached 9 seconds before Botafogo's Kyle Wilker went in two-footed and off the ground into a Trezor defender. Botafogo went on to lose 1-0 and Wilker was released that same year. We suspect the two things were not entirely unrelated. Togo Sukara, 9 seconds. An unbelievable incident that could have been avoided. During a J-League 2 match between Tokyo Verdy and Sugan Tosu in 2009, the game was barely 10 seconds old when the pass from the kickoff was misjudged by Tokyo's Togo Sukara and he brought down the opposing player who was running through on goal. The Japanese midfielder was rightly given his marching orders in what was a new record at the time in Japanese professional football. Zé Carlos, 7 seconds. Zé Carlos of Cruzeiro made an impact in just 7 seconds during the Clásico Mineiro in 2009. His elbow swung into the face of Renan Teixeira, resulting in a swift red card. Of all the matches that the now retired Brazilian forward could have done this in, the fixture that means the most to the fans, this decision was made to look even worse. Zé Carlos would go on later to apologise to the supporters after the game. Serge Djua, 3 seconds. This is one of the more unfortunate incidents on this list, but the player involved couldn't help but smile as he was being sent off. Serge Djua, representing Greek second division side Gilfaris at the time, looked as astonished as everyone else did when, 3 seconds after coming off the bench, his stray arm made contact with the face of an opposing player. It looked anything but deliberate, or malicious for that matter. However, the referee disagreed and brandished a red card, much to the disbelief of Djua. He was so amazed by what had just happened, he almost had his head in his hands whilst laughing hysterically, walking back to the touchline. In English non-league football, we have red cards recorded at 3 and 2 seconds, but top of our list comes from the Premier League. Keith Gillespie, 0 seconds. Hitting the number 1 spot on our list is the former Sheffield United man Keith Gillespie for his moment of stupidity. The Premier League match between the Blades and Reading had already been heated before the ex-Northern Ireland international was subbed on midway through the second half. But before the play could resume, the red mist descended and Gillespie flung an elbow straight into the face of Stephen Hunt. Not once, but twice. As a result, and in full view of the linesman, the referee was left with no choice but to send Gillespie for an early bath in one of the most extraordinary incidents we've ever seen on a football pitch.